Stand by, recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Ehctv. I'm Abby Hathorn.
And I'm Khalil King. Welcome back to the show. Abby, I kind of took something off my plate this week, and I'm freer than ever. I mean, I get to commit all my time to academics, and I'm not, undergoing the pledge process. I'm pretty free, and I had a birthday yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good too. You know, it's just one of those weeks where you're just trying to slide by. It's like senioritis is hitting me kind of hard today, even though I'm still going to grad school afterwards. But just ready for this week to be over, I'm sure, as with other people. But I heard you're playing rugby now.
Well, yeah, that's I freed my schedule up, but I'm going right back at it with another sport. So, yeah, looking forward to see how fun it'll be and the opportunities that'll come with that.
Yeah. So who do you have on the set with you today?
I have a senior forward from the basketball team, Chase Branscombe. So looking forward to talking to him. Who do you have on the set?
I have Greek Council President Annie Linhart to talk about kind of just the overall idea. Since it's Pledge Week, just kind of in that mood already. We're going to talk a little bit about that and kind of her journey into Greek life at Emory and Henry. So
cool. Well, we will now pass it over to Will Seidel with the news.
Hello, everyone. I'm Will Seidel, bringing you this week's news. A big deal on campus lately is the talk surrounding campus safety. This has been quite the buzz since there was a sightings of a homeless man on campus following students. But with that taken care of, students are still concerned. However, in order to put the campus community more at ease, additional 25 security cameras are on order, and Dean Holloway, along with several other faculty members, are looking to increasing campus lighting by the way of attaching floodlights to the campus buildings. While this would still leave a fair amount of campus dim, they are still working to remedy that. Renovations on the duck pond are set to begin early next week. Changing the look that has since 1951, the new plans tentatively include a pavilion bridge over the stream, a brick-paved walkway, new park benches, and a Flounders Plaza that will tell about the school's history. In other news, a group of Emory and Henry faculty used the college's new program that allows faculties to take 2 paid days off every year for the community service to go to Florida and assist with the relief efforts related to Hurricane Harvey and Irma. This group of faculty worked on Big Pine Key. They encouraged more faculty to use those newly added community service days to go down and help. Homecoming activities will also kick off on Friday with EAB spirit events. Saturday is the homecoming game against Bridgewater. Tailgating will start prior to the game. You must be 21 to participate. Friday is the last day to withdraw from a class with a W grade, so keep that in mind as you make it through the rest of the week. To withdraw, you will need to fill out a form from Wiley Hall. Well, that's all I have for you guys this week. For Will Seidel, this has been News Update.
Hello and welcome to this feature interview. I'm Abby Hathorn. With me on set today, I have Greek Council President Annie Linhart, who's also a sister of Kappa Phi Alpha. Welcome to the set, Annie.
Thank you so much for having me.
So to start out, when did you come to Emory and Henry?
I came to Emory first on a tour. It was my senior year, and then fell in love with it instantly and committed to come here my freshman year. So I've been here almost all 4 years now. It's flown by.
Yeah, it definitely has. So when you're kind of looking back, and when did you decide, I want to be a part of Greek life at Emory?
Well, my whole family has been Greek. My dad was national, and so were my 2 sisters, and my mom was actually in a local at her college. So I've always known that I wanted to be in Greek life just because I heard the stories they would tell. And so the fact that Emory had local didn't deter me from going Greek. It honestly made me want to join even more to see what difference it was. So when I got here, obviously you can't rush as a freshman, so I had to wait. But I got to know all the groups on campus, and I don't know, something just clicked with K-Phi and the girls in there, and I got really close to the girl that's my big, Lindsay Davidson, and it just felt like another part of me was home. Emory already felt home, but something about K-Phi made it feel even more like a home.
Yeah. And when you're kind of explaining to people the difference between nationals and locals, if there's a huge difference, how do you kind of like explain to those people, even maybe your parents or your friends that are in nationals, how do you say, okay, locals are completely different, because they are?
Yeah, they are very different. They are different, but they're sort of the same. Like, it's all about that bond and that sisterhood. I know for me especially, and just I definitely always brag that our dues are lower than nationals because that's a huge thing. But I would just say like the biggest difference between national and local is like having that Panhellenic board and having the national conferences and stuff like that, and having to pay a ton of money for that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about sisterhood and that bond and having someone in your back corner when you need someone.
Yeah, it's definitely a really special thing, because I know that when I came to Emory, I was not planning on being a part of Greek life, and then you just kind of become saturated in it because it is everywhere, but at the same time, everyone has their own personality, isn't that right?
Yeah, I think that's what makes Emory and Henry's Greek life amazing, because like you said, we might all wear the same letters, but each girl brings something different to the table, and that goes for fraternities too. Not all the guys are the same, so it definitely makes it special.
Yeah, and so you were in Greek Council. How did you, I know you didn't just start out with being the president, how did you kind of like get integrated into Greek Council and then work your way up?
Well, when I joined K-Phi as a freshman in my spring semester, they needed someone to be a Greek Council representative, which this person just goes to the meetings and then reports back like what was told. And somehow I got that. I don't really know exactly how, but anyway, I'm really glad I did, because as soon as I went, I realized that Greek Council took into account not just my sorority, but everybody. And I don't know, Greek life here at Emory is so special to me, so I was like, yeah, like of course I want to get behind this. So then I was Greek Council representative, and then my junior year, sorry, they all blend together. My junior year, I became Sergeant of Arms, and then going into my senior year, became president.
Yeah, and what's sort of your role as Greek Council president? What are some of the things that maybe you have to do leading up to Pledge Week and then even during Pledge Week?
Well, leading up, definitely made sure that every organization had met with Kyle, with their advisor, to approve their Pledge Week, to have a safe Pledge Week. And then this year we enforced a hazing course, just to, again, take that extra step of safety. And then besides, like after Pledge Week and stuff, I know I've worked really hard. We're going to start like a Greek newsletter at the end of each month, kind of let faculty and staff know that we're doing more than you think we are, like we're actually participating on campus. And I also want to have like an advisor appreciation day, because our advisors do so much for us and they need a little pat on the back. But other than that, just making sure the basic functions are done, like everyone is running smoothly, everyone is happy, everyone's healthy, and Greek life here is thriving.
What sort of role does Greek Council in general play in like Emory and Henry's Greek life? I know like at bigger schools you have a Greek Council, but it may not have as much of an effect, whereas we're kind of small and all of our sororities are kind of, we're separate, but at the same time we have a lot of unity. So how would that Greek Council kind of play into that?
We're just sort of like a backbone. Like, we're here to make sure that each organization can do what they want to do within limits. And I know I've worked really hard, and along with my exec board, to ensure that Greek unity, because I think we need that unity, or else, like, we'll all fall apart. And that's something that I am so happy to say, as I've seen my 4 years, is Greek life here has become so close with each other and other organizations. And I think that's awesome. I love that.
Now, a lot of people at Emory and Henry, we do have a large population involved in Greek life. And as someone that's coming in as a freshman, what kind of advice would you give them if they're like kind of either intimidated at the fact, they're intimidated by Greek life, or they're just kind of questioning it in general? What kind of advice would you give?
I would say have an open mind, because there are a lot of stereotypes, unfortunately, and there are still a lot of rumors about Greek life. But I would say give it a chance, because I've heard so many stories of people coming in saying like, I hate Greek life, I'm not going to do it. And then they go to rush dinner and they're president of their fraternity or sorority now. So I would say definitely have an open mind. And if you don't find your home, then that's okay too. Well, Greeks aren't like, oh, you're not a Greek, I can't talk to you. Like, if anything, I've noticed the Greeks here are the most involved. They are some of the friendliest people I know. So no matter what is on your chest, with letters or without, like, definitely get to know the Greeks, just because they're a great group of people.
What's maybe your favorite memory about being? I mean, you've been in Greek life since you were a freshman. What's one memory that stands out to you about being involved with Greek life?
Oh gosh, there's so many. Probably my favorite is the Relay for Life event, because I know that's when groups really come together. And I remember this past one getting pied in the face. And not that that was a great memory, but it was just so much fun to see like everybody coming together for a great cause. And for me, it really struck that like when we do come together, we're a pretty powerful force. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and we're not just like a bunch of t-shirt clubs. Some
No,
people like to
yeah.
joke, and so what sort of, I guess, what kind of role do you think that Greek life plays in like empowering Emory and Henry as like a community, as like a bunch of college students?
I think, well, one, it's connections, because that's what college is about, right? Making connections for the workforce. I know there are so many alumni out that can help you get jobs, know people that can get jobs for you. So I think, one, connections is a great thing. Two, Greek life, I think, at Emory does make it feel like a more inclusive campus. Like I said, like so many Greeks are involved with stuff. There's so many different angles to organizations that, they can just accept everybody, if that kind of makes sense. So I feel like, I don't want to say Greek life makes Emory and Henry, because there's so many things that make Emory and Henry great, but I think Greeks definitely have a role in that.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. But thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show
you.
today, and look forward to seeing how the rest of the week goes.
Thank you so much.
And now we'll toss it over to this week's Out and About.
Hello world, I'm Khalil King and this is your sports interview. Today we have with us senior forward Chase Branscombe from the basketball team. Chase, thank you so much for coming out, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well first I want to talk about, you guys just started your first practice Sunday, so you have 2 practices under your belt. How are you feeling about the season?
I feel great, man. We have a lot of young guys that are coming in. They're ready to step up. You can tell that from the first couple of days of practice. We're already throwing in some plays, getting our defensive principles set, and the fact that they're ready to come in and just kind of dive in, and they're not really testing the waters, that really shows me that they're committed to what we're trying to do. So that's definitely big time.
Yeah, that is big time. It's interesting, you got a lot of seniors to leave last year with Miles, Brandon, Zach Lawson, and so the team's kind of small, especially with even freshmen from last year leaving. So I know it's kind of a weird feel, you stepping into a senior role and a couple juniors stepping up. How's the team chemistry? Do you feel?
I think definitely it's different this year, but it's different in a good way, because we have last year we didn't really click per se, but we had guys that just hung around with other guys more, and this year it just seems that we all just around each other a lot more. I mean, obviously you have roommates that will be around each other all the time, but as far as like a team chemistry, you see us walk around campus, we roll pretty deep no matter where we go. So I think that's definitely different in a positive way this year in terms of how we get along with each other.
Okay, I know you guys have 2 coaches to leave, even the management change. But Coach Coach Wilson remains the same, and being on this campus and around you guys' team, I mean, he seems just like such a positive role model for you guys, and he does have you guys weekly. You guys have posses where you guys don't, make a point in the week to do an activity with each other. What's the impact you think that has for your team?
Well, first off, that you're right with that manager spot. It's definitely going to be a tough role to fill, but we got a guy that we think we can step up to that. But yeah, the posse workouts is just something that kind of allows us to build that chemistry every week. We're not, doing everything as a team. We divide up each other, so you get a senior hanging out with freshmen and stuff. They just kind of, help them adjust to the college life. It's obviously different. We got Ethan, who's from New Zealand, so this is something he's never experienced before. So I think the fact that Coach allows us to do those posse workouts and just kind of switches it up every week, that really allows the freshmen and, even the sophomores and seniors to really get to know everybody, and then, that helps on the court as well.
Yeah, Coach Wilson, he's a hot topic because since he's been to this college, the team has only gone upward for there. The record's continuously gotten better. You guys have a lot of pressure on your back because you did make it to the championship last year. What kind of role does that play for the team?
I think one thing that we do really well is we look at the big picture, but we don't pride ourselves in the big picture. So everything that we do is day to day, and so we do the little things, and the little things are what help the big things happen. So Coach Wilson has brought a culture that we've all bought into, and I'm 100% confident in saying that everybody on the team is all in when it comes to that kind of stuff. One thing we say a lot is we're committed, and so being committed to all those little things, the 6 a.m.s, the extra reps, all that stuff. I think that's why we got to Salem last year and we were able to make it to that championship game. As far as pressure this year, I don't think we feel pressure as a team because we know what we're capable of, and so if we continue to do all the small things, that's gonna lead to success no matter what.
You're right, and being around your guys' team, I know that fun plays a big role for you guys, and I think that is in part what contributes to your success. I go around practice and I see you guys dancing. Just tell me the role fun has for your team.
I think it's definitely it's a huge role because you don't want everything to be really tight and intense all practice. So the fact that you have guys on a team that are willing to get outside their comfort zones and just make everything kind of flow, that helps a lot. And when we get back to that team chemistry, that's obviously a big role in that you have guys that can do that. But then I also think that one of the good things about our team is you have guys that can joke and goof around, but then once it's time to flip the switch, they can give you a bucket at the same time, and they were dancing 30 seconds earlier. So the fact that we have that balance to be able to be light and have everything fun, but then when it's time to focus, we can get the job done too. I think that's really important.
All right. Now, with you being a senior, not everyone makes it to this point. What, for you personally, has been that, that anchor that's allowed you to stick in there with the student-athlete grind and you see it to your senior year?
Man, first off, it's flown by, and so, when you think about day-to-day stuff, it makes it seem like a grind. But when I think about moving in freshman year to Mawa, it seems like it wasn't that long ago. So. One thing, I surround myself with people that want me to be successful. So, my teammates, all my friends, I have a close circle. So, those people always want me to be successful, and my family plays a big role. I pray a lot because there's a lot of strength that I need that, all those people can't provide for me. So that's obviously, plays a big role in the success that I've had, and I think that we've had as a team because we've got 4 seniors and we didn't have any when I was a freshman. So the fact that we've had a couple of people that were in our class decide that this wasn't the role that they wanted to have through college, and the fact that me, Johnny, and Noah are still here, I think that also helps with, like you were saying, the chemistry. So the fact that we're all so close and we've all made it to the finish line, so to speak. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. I think that most importantly, the group of guys that I've been around all 4 years has been, that's what's got me through it more than anything.
Yeah. You guys have great chemistry, a great coach, but you also have a new addition. You know, he played for VT, and he, you know, played 14 games, helping them to go to the NCAA tournament. What do you think he's going to add to your team, to what you guys already have?
Yeah, I think, you know, Coach Galloway and Coach White, also, I think both of those guys are going to be huge for us. I've already done, you know, a couple workouts with Coach Galloway since, you know, they've been able to work us out, and just the knowledge that he brings from playing at that level, and Coach White as well, that's just something that you can't really, you know, teach to someone who's never been in that position. So the fact that they went through the same grind that we're going through, they know how it is, they know what our bodies are feeling like right now and are going to be feeling like during the middle of the season. So the fact that they can come and offer us the knowledge that they have, and, you know, with basketball, it's a lot technical, but there's also these little things that you can do that, you know, that can help in terms of, you know, like just having a move that you can go to, or little things that work here that might not work there. You know, little things like that, I think that they both bring to the table that you know, are just going to be really good for us moving forward.
Awesome. Well, Chase, I'm not going to be a stranger, and I'm going to be paying attention to you guys this season. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And thank you all for watching. I will now pass it over to Evan Underwood with the sports update.
I'm Evan Underwood with your sports update. The Wasps football team was in action Saturday against Randolph-Macon. The Wasps will fall 52-29. The men's soccer team was on a 6-game losing streak until last night when they defeated Hiwassee 3-0. The Wasps were led by Jordan Couch with 2 goals. The men and women's cross-country teams were back in action on Saturday at the Berry Invitational. The women would finish 14th out of 23 teams. In the competition, the men did not have a score. The volleyball team would play 3 games this past week. They would lose all 3 games-1. The women's golf team competed at the Knights Invitational on Saturday. The women would play second in their highest place finish of the year. I also want to remind you this Saturday is homecoming as the Wasps take on the Bridgewater Eagles. And this is all I have this week for this week's sports update. I'm Evan Underwood.
Hey, I'm having a great meal. But wait, I must photograph this so everyone can Facebook and roll their eyes at salmon and rice. My mother does this all the time. She always has to take a picture of her food to post to Facebook. It drives me crazy. I don't care what you're eating. I've been out to dinner with my mother when she says in the middle of a conversation, "I'm sorry, I have to take a picture of this." How rude. Excuse me, Mom, I'm telling you something very important. You interrupt me to take your picture of your food? A, nobody wants to see your food. B, you really want to post how much you're eating? Really? Really? Get a real life and eat and enjoy the food. Obviously, if you're posting a picture of food, you think it's going to be good. Why don't you try the food instead of letting it go cold while you pull out your phone to take a picture of it?
Hey everybody, I'm Maddie Gillespie and welcome to this week's segment of Tweet, Pray, Love. Every week I get on Twitter and post an off-the-wall hashtag topic, and it's up to you, the Emory and Henry community, to come up with the ridiculous material for me to use on the show. With the help of the always lovely Tweet, Pray, Love Peanut Gallery, yes, we plan to bring your opinions to the forefront, and by that I mean local TV. This week's hashtag is actually not a hashtag at all. It's a poll. In honor of Buzzmania this Friday, I made a poll to see who you think will win the co-ed basketball game. After some intense voting, the results are here. So, for the blue team, we got 48% votes. For the white team, we got 52%. So, I don't know which one's going to win, but stay tuned for this Friday to see. That's all I have for you today. I'm Maddie Gillespie.
So how about those interviews? I'm glad that you finally got someone other than football.
I
on the
know.
set.
Finally was able to put my bias aside. But, you know, Chase is still near and dear to my heart as I was a manager last year. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what they're going to really produce this year, you know, with going to a championship and not seeing them grasp it. You, on the other hand, did include a little bias. I don't know. Who'd you interview? How was your interview?
I did interview one of my sorority sisters, but she also is Greek Council president. So when I couldn't get a hold of, some other people, in administration, she was kind of my next go-to person to find out a little bit more about just Greek life in general on Emory's campus, because not everybody understands it. So just wanted to kind of get that information out there. So.
Well, that's good. I know that she emphasized that people go through these trainings so that people know their hazing rights, and that's really important.
Yeah, that's a big thing, especially in national news. We see it all the time, but that's part of how the changing times, I guess. But thank you so much for joining us on this week's Ehctv. I'm Abby Hathorn,
and I'm Khalil King. Join us next week.